Now joining us from the Pakistani capital is political analyst Javed Rana. Javed, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Javed, please tell us about the latest developments. India has attacked, Pakistan has replied. How are you looking at the situation from the Pakistani capital?
I think to begin with, let me report what has happened. So far, India has killed as many as 26 people and 46 were other injured. It had attacked at least 6 locations deep inside Pakistan. And this is for the first time after 1971 war that India has gone deep into Pakistan. This is one side of the picture. I think Pakistan has retaliated, particularly its focus has been the disputed part of Kashmir region. It has shot down 5 Indian fighter jets, excluding several drones. Apart from that, Pakistan hit at least 6 military installations or Indian military installations inside disputed Kashmir region. And their brigade headquarters has also been destroyed. Now, I think the important factor is that last time when there was a similar situation, but at a much lower scale, then Pakistan had shot down 2 Indian fighter jets. And then India, when it had an internal accountability mechanism, and they said since their fighter jets were so old and they need to now replace them with the latest one. This time around, they imported it from France. They call it as a rifle fighter jets, and they are the latest one. Now, according to the information that I've been receiving from the different sources, they are suggesting that it was a dogfight, and as many as 70 Indian fighter jet they intruded into Pakistani airspace, and then in response, in retaliation, as many as 30 Pakistani fighter jet, they had a dogfight. And as a result of a dogfight, I think my understanding is, I may be wrong, but that's what I am assessing the situation. Pakistani fighter jet also intruded deep into Indian side. More particularly, they went up to the Srinagar and they shot down 5 Indian warplanes, and among them 3 were the Rafale fighter jets. Now that is technically speaking, shocking to the India. It looks like that Indian pilots are not experienced enough. They could not handle it. And I think this is also unprecedented, at least between India and Pakistan, where at least 100 fighter jets had a kind of a dogfight. And then as a result of which, 5 of Indian planes were shot down. Pakistan says that none of its fighter jet was shot down by India. Now, Indian media initially confirmed a shooting down of 3 fighter jets, but later on, those reports were removed from the media. I think there's a lot of censorship is going on. Now, Pakistan is also saying that it has killed many Indian soldiers, and some of them have also been captured. I think those who have been killed, that figures probably could possibly be run into the double digit. At this particular point of time, we don't know. I think this is one side of the situation, which does indicate that Pakistan has very effectively defended itself. And it looks like that Pakistan has an air superiority over India. India could not manage to actually carry out attack inside Pakistan through its fighter jets. So, however, it managed to intrude through missiles attack. Now, as we speak, the Pakistan National Security meeting is going to take place. I think probably it is already happening, or shortly it is going to take place. Now, we are waiting and seeing how it is going to unfold, what decision it is going to take. Will it settle down or what it has already done? Or will it go for some kind of a bigger retaliation? Because this conflict doesn't seem to be confined to Pakistan's disputed Kashmir region. It has already gone deep into Pakistan. And this, after 50 years, India has now dared to actually penetrate into Pakistani airspace, where they have managed to kill Pakistani citizens. Now, we have to also see that the places that India has been saying they were the terrorist training centers, that's a complete nonsense. They were the mosque, and they have killed innocent people, which also include children, and probably women are also injured among them. So And in similar fashion, everybody knew in Pakistan, there was a lot of discussion that what are the sites Indians are going to hit. One of them was near Lahore, another was near in the southern part of Pakistan, it's in Bahawalpur district. I think, therefore, if at all there were some former militants there, if at all there were there, so obviously they could not have been there as a sitting duck. So they would have gone somewhere else. But I don't think any militant or any training center was there. This is more as a symbolic to let the Indian people know that Indian military has done something to help Prime Minister Narendra Modi to win election in the Bihar state. So I think now all eyes are on in what way Pakistan is going to retaliate further. There is a possibility that Pakistan may not further retaliate, but I think given the fact that India had also attacked, partially it has damaged one of the hydro power project in Pakistani part of Kashmir, and there is a possibility if there is retaliation. My understanding is that Pakistan obviously cannot retaliate in a manner that India has retaliated, that India has attacked. The reason being is that Pakistan would not attack Indian temples, the worship places of Hindu religion. That is what Pakistan respects, because India has opted to basically desecrate the worship places of the Muslim. I think there is a possibility that Pakistan may attack on some of the water dams which it had built on the rivers which belongs to Pakistan. That is one such possibility. Another possibility is that Pakistan may simply carry out some kind of a symbolic attack inside India, and which means that there would not be any casualties, because there is no point of killing civilian in retaliation, because India can declare anybody as a terrorist. India can declare mosque and worship places and religious schools as a training center. That is a nonsense. Omar, you have been to Pakistan, you know it, that these religious schools cannot become a training center. These are the small places. There cannot be a training center. So these are nonsensical political rhetoric that we have been hearing from New Delhi. Indian media is not making public the scale of the losses it has suffered. Very interestingly, in parts of Kashmir on Indian side, India has raised the white flag. Why it has raised the white flag? And the videos are available. Reason is that India does not want now Pakistan's retaliation. It is scared, but there are apprehensions what is going to be the further response of India in case Pakistan retaliate more aggressively. These are the two countries which have the nuclear weapons. They cannot win war against each other. They can annihilate each other. And that is a sense which is not prevailing in India. The reason being is that India has attacked Pakistan on the basis of an evidence which does not exist, which lack plausibility. There has to be a plausible evidence. India has been saying that Pakistani militants intruded into Indian part of Kashmir from Pakistani part of Kashmir, and they went on foot and they traveled up to 230 kilometers with guns, and they killed 26 tourists. This doesn't make sense. These tourists could possibly be killed by the militants inside the disputed Kashmir region. There are so many militant groups, some of which Indian officials have admitted in the past that they themselves created to what they call to counter ISI's network in Kashmir. And more importantly, at the heart of everything is the Kashmir dispute. There are 11 to 12 UN Security Council resolutions. There has to be plebiscite. If India is not ready to hold plebiscite, then it has to hold negotiation with Pakistan to decide it. Let the Muslim majority area go to the Pakistan. That is the partition formula that the British had formulated.
Javed, tell me about the public sentiment that's ongoing right now. Tell me about the public sentiment. How have people reacted in Pakistan? How are people reacting in Pakistani Kashmir? What's the sentiment there? How are they feeling about these attacks?
I think I've been covering events during last couple of days. All indications are clearly I think a society there was a political uprising because the military basically tried to suppress the mainstream opposition party, which had won with the two-third majority vote. But surprisingly, the threats of war has unified Pakistani nation. And people are now clearly supporting the military. And people are happy. I've seen jubilant scene in Kashmir over the shooting down of Indian fighter jets. And I have interviewed people from Kashmir. They're all standing by Pakistan military because obviously they know what has been happening in Indian Kashmir. 150,000 people have been killed during the last 70 years. So Pakistani Kashmiri would never like to join India. So and then they also know what is happening deep inside India. Muslims are being persecuted. They are being forced to convert back. Their mosques are being bulldozed. So I think India basically tried to do the same thing today in Pakistan. But what is clear now that India does not have any air superiority in Pakistan. It has not been able, according to Pakistan's military spokesperson, it has not been able to intrude into Pakistani airspace so far as its fighter jets are concerned. My understanding is that there is a probability of some kind of Indian incursion in Pakistan, but Pakistan repelled that attack. It went deep inside Indian part of the Kashmir and shot down Indian fighter jets.
Javed, also you were talking about the international reaction. You know, over the last few days, we've seen the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. He's been in contact with both sides. Then the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, he was in Pakistan. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has spoken to both sides. What is the international reaction? And despite, the international condemnation and the international community asking both of these countries to stop their attacks and to think, openly and to have conversations about this, why did India still continue, why did India still decide to attack Pakistan?
I think the reasons are quite simple. All these countries, particularly the Americans, there is a consensus that Pakistan has been saying one thing: let there be an actionable intelligence, let there be an international investigation, and let the facts be presented on the ground, and let the facts decide who's involved. India is not open to any independent investigation. It had already made up its mind to carry out attack on Pakistan. I think India did not listen to the Americans so far as their public posturing is concerned. India did not listen to the Russia. India did not listen to Iran, and particularly Russia wanted India and Pakistan to have some kind of negotiations under similar agreement. It is a 1974 agreement whereby both countries can decide bilaterally on how to resolve Kashmir dispute. But I think India's nonsensical diplomacy has made Kashmir once again on the front burner. It has become an international issue, despite the fact that India has been desperately trying to win over Western capital to put Kashmir on the back burner. I think that it looks like that the Indian policy has backfired. Now again, what we need to look at bigger picture, which is still developing. This small conflict is not yet over. We have to wait and see what policy measure Pakistan is going to undertake. Will there be further retaliation? Or is Pakistan going to restrict, or Pakistan will try to win over the international diplomacy? Now, these are the two options which are being discussed among the top officials in Pakistan. I think this is going to determine the peace in this region.
Javed, we're coming to the end of the program, but I want to ask you, tell me about the meeting that's taking place right now. Shehbaz Sharif is involved in a meeting right now. That's the National Security Council meeting. All the top military generals, all the top politicians, all the political parties, everyone is united against this attack which India conducted in the last few hours. So what sort of a decision could come out of this security meeting? And do you think that Pakistan could take a bigger action, and would it escalate from there?
I think the calibrations on the geostrategic landscape is going to be on whether or not we have a strategic edge, the way Pakistan has retaliated. I think my understanding is that just like what happened in 2019, Pakistan has a clear strategic edge. It has shot down its 5 fighter jets. It has It has hit hard 5 Indian military installations. It has killed Indian soldiers. They are in double digit. And it has also captured some of the Indian soldiers. Probably Pakistani soldiers went inside Indian part of Kashmir and they captured some of the soldiers. These are the claims that we have heard from the Pakistani sources. If these are all true in the real sense, I think there is a possibility that Pakistan may settle down on whatever the response and the retaliation Pakistan has already undertaken. But at the same time, Pakistan is also very upset the way India has suspended the Shared Water Treaty, better known as Indus Water Treaty. So Pakistan still, there is a possibility that Pakistan would further retaliate, and that retaliation that there would be launch of a missiles attack, maybe ballistic missile attack on India, and that may not cause any casualties, but that would be more symbolic to further have a strategic edge over India.
Political analyst Javed Rana, thank you for joining us from Islamabad.
The growing tide of anti-Israel sentiments. What you see behind me is just tip of the iceberg of what is happening in the country. More than half of $52 billion black CIA budget is spent on espionage network in Pakistan. How would you handle it?
The US has looked upon Pakistan as an ally at one point and then as an enemy at the same time.
That is going to be the first legal reason on the basis of which he is going to be instantly ousted by the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
Joining us live, Javed Rana, who's an expert on politics and geo-strategic issues.
In the world politics, which is not being driven by any moral principle, it is being driven by the hard geostrategic realities. In a broader picture, more countries would aspire to have nuclear weapons.